So last week I put out a video on Dragon Ball Z Flash games. I talked a little bit about a couple of games from Snack Brands Australia that I missed out on while I was doing my initial research. And it looks like the rabbit hole goes a lot further in terms of collaborations with Snack Brands Australia. I didn't know they had a whole game system associated with them called Battlezone, Dizks of Thunder. So I guess these were like some sort of discs that you could collect. But along with that, there's also like a Flash game that you can play, and they had like a little competition that went alongside it, with the first prize being $200, second prize being $100, which I can tell you as a kid I would be stoked about. First question I have is, what are discs? So it looks like discs are special like little labeled discs that you get inside of each of Snack Brand Australia's chips. So like you would open them and it would come with like these discs that you could use, and with them they have a whole, like each disc has like a specific character on them apparently, which is really cool. I would have been really into this when I was a kid, and it seems like there's a lot of these. Some of them are like characters, some of them it looks like they have like phase discs, so like the hologram discs apparently that you could, like if you look at it a different way, it like changes. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and so on the front of each disc is apparently like an element. So there's either fire, earth, or water. So fire beats earth, earth beats water, water beats fire. Makes sense to me. It's kind of like the same Pokemon effect. And it looks like if you combine different discs together during a turn, you can like do super moves. Obviously this is just like a card game with discs, but yeah. But along with that, they also had like their own Flash game. I don't know who made this Flash game, and I don't really actually understand how to play this game. Like I don't know what the goal of it is, mainly because I didn't, let me see if it gives me help. Yeah, what's interesting about this is that it gives like no direction in terms of how to play the game. So I just go in there and I'm just pressing buttons. Apparently you can deflect these discs when they're being shot. The yellow ones you can't dodge. They're like the special ones. But there's not like a lot of area to move in the game, so I felt like I was getting hit by every single one of the discs that were coming my way. Yeah, and so this is one of those games that's you can either play online, but then it also seems like you could download too, so you could like play offline, which is interesting. Yeah, so it's its own executable. That's interesting. So they had a formal online game and then they have a downloadable game. That's a pretty cool deal. So yeah, it looks like it came out in 2002. That's when it was a competition. Let me read this. Battlezone Dizks of Thunder can be played offline and online. To register and compete for cash prizes, Battlezone must be played online. Battlezone can be downloaded and played offline. To play online for prizes, you need to submit a username, your email address, and a valid DBZ disc game code found on the back of DBZ discs. So those were found on the back of chips. Upon entering the Battlezone, you'll find yourself standing on a floating platform in a 3D stadium suspended high above the ground. An identical platform floats at the opposite end of the stadium where your enemy waits to make the killer throw. The translucent wall makes the boundaries of this game space where energy discs are thrown at your opponent. The battle is played over 5 levels, each level progressively faster and harder. The tools of an ultimate battle are disc codes, which are used to unleash extra layer player powers in the advanced player options. Exchange discs for extra powers, lives, defense, or weapons. Register your high score in the high scores table and go into the battle for the weekly cash prizes. Okay, so this makes more sense. So essentially the flow is that you go to store, get your Snack Brand chips, hope that you get a cool disc, and on that disc is a code that you can use to make this Battlezone game easier. It's like you can enter it in for special like abilities and all that kind of stuff. And so theoretically, the person who has the most discs can get further in the game. That makes more sense in terms of like why I was just getting destroyed. So I was able to find the company that I assume made this. It looks like Lamrock Creative out of Australia. They made this website for Aeronauts in conjunction with Snack Brands Australia. It was really useful because it seems like they have like an actual description for this whole event, which is useful for me because I was not a part of this. So it says the concept was to integrate an in-pack premium placed in over 25 million packs with an online interactive experience. We developed a multi-level flash game. A database of all player scores would determine weekly cash prizes. The campaign was a huge success, with the Dragon Ball Z website and game becoming the most popular website in the entertainment category for the whole of Australia. The success of this promotion led to further campaigns for Arnauts. So that's very interesting. So this was like a big deal, it seemed like. Not as obscure as I was making it seem, but still worth covering. So yeah, this was a pretty fun looking, this was a pretty fun look. I didn't realize this was here, and I wish I had put this in my last video, but I feel like this is almost deserving of its own video. Like, I'm really interested in finding like these very like niche topics. If you're interested in seeing more of this type of content, feel free to subscribe and I'll try and post more. So yeah, bye.